I'll tell you what, who gives a shit, really? Let's just go with it. I don't know why the camera won't work. It's like... It just doesn't like the Zeal. It does not like the Zeal. At all. This won't be a long one, because I've got to go to sleep real soon. It's probably just as well the camera doesn't work. Because, I mean, you'd be able to see how shit I look right now. I am on the right channel. Well, I will be, even if I wasn't in the browser. Wouldn't be able to... Ah. That's right. Wow. Shit, man. We ate through these maps, didn't we? I'm not even sure what we did and didn't do. I'm not bothering going looking back at the full list. But I definitely have no memory of doing G-Town, so I guess we'll do that. When I can get this up here. Piece of shit. So we are at... Jesus Christ. One... That'll do it. GTOWN.MAP. I don't imagine anyone will turn up for this, but that's fine. That's, like I say, we're not doing this to be a live stream as such. It's just faster and easier to do it this way. Oh, I get it. Ghost Town. We have been in here before. How's the audio? The audio's a little bit high, I think. I don't know, I can't tell. It goes steadily drifted up. I'm guessing the way that momentum works isn't quite right. Wow, things do go up into parallax skies. That's kind of nice. Well, that's a lot of fucking good that is to us. I swear that live chat window thing's moved from where it was. I don't think you have to type .map, do you? I'm sure it loads them now. It's been a while. It's been a while, man. Cut me some slack. Where are we at? We'll say at like 2:30 or something. Okay. Let's God mode ourselves. This looks like... See, part of me wants to say the haunting in structure, but it's more like a test map, I think. So we have the wiggling chains of peril. We have the breakable nightmare 3D windows. We have... Okay, that was a neat use of the effects. This is clearly a test map though, and the frame rate keeps going to hell, but we've had to deal with that the whole time. It's not very efficient, this game. Much better than the bloody final version, like. So, what's going on here? Oh, that's fucking weird. We're gonna get trapped, aren't we? Probably loops around. Yeah, that's where we just were. Okay, it's obviously triggering by entering sectors and stuff. Pressure pads. We'll have none of that. I always liked how you can sort of make custom sector switches that way with the system in Blood very easily though. Like, that tagging system is pretty fucking nice. Damn, that was louder than I thought it would be. Okay, I think you set enough rotations, guys. Oh, it's minging in here, man. Look at this place. It's like, this is one of them places where, you know, I would have probably not played it when I was high years ago. I would have started seeing, like, horses being slain by cherubs and stuff in the wall textures. Where is this taking me? I don't like it. I want to get off this ride, man. Well, this is a bit of a labyrinth, isn't it? Come on, man, there's no need for this. Okay, we've already been in a test map that does most of these effects, but I don't remember this one. I'm staying here because I don't know. Well, I could just QS clip it, I suppose. Oh, it requires re-entry, that's good. This is a maze. This test map's horrible. I mean, that clearly comes out of somewhere. Why would you make the test map such a maze? Come on, I mean, you must know. Jeez, man. Well, fuck knows what's in there, but it probably isn't anything useful. We can try and QS clip through it, though, assuming I can get back there, which... we probably... can't. I've probably just got stuck now, haven't I? I bet I have. The build engine works this way with collision. It's a little bit fucking strange about it. Luckily it does appear to be a red wall. It's just for display. Just me, or is that... it's because I'm closer up the wall than I would be, isn't it? Well, that's a nice little insight into how the up and down works. What a... oh, right. What about that? Let's get all the mirrors at the corners of the screen though. Shouldn't have done that because it's pretty slow when the frame rate's this shit. I don't even know why the frame rate's as bad in here because there shouldn't really be anything in here that would cause it. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. I'm sure I just heard a cricket chirp, man. I don't want crickets to chirp. I hate the fuckers. They annoy me enough as it is. Right. What have we got down here? This is obviously a wall that goes somewhere. No, it goes here. Right, I see. Hang on, is this like 4 sectors it's gonna come... what was again that noise? To whatever we're closest to. It seems to abstractly do that. I think it doesn't work properly. Well, that was a test map. And it wasn't quite like the other test maps, so it wasn't pointless to look at. But yeah, there's not many maps left to look at, really. I'm sure we've looked at some of these already. We are at 15. Jesus Christ! Scared the hell out of me. Fuck me, that's loud. Let me turn the volume down here, man. It's no wonder, I mean, I've got my volume up at like 80% or something with headphones on. Oh no, you don't. Yeah, some fucking jacuzzi party this is when everything's trying to fucking kill me in here. How lovely. This made it into one of those snow levels, didn't it? Yeah, a lot of fucking good it is because we can't go down there. Now what? Windows, fuck off. There we go. Right, now let's get back to what we were doing. So... J-Altar. I'm sure we've been in here. Isn't this one the ones with broken textures? If we're bidding them, I'll just quit out. I'll sort of perk around for a few seconds though, because there might be other revisions. I'm not sure, but I tell you, I think I recognise this map straight away. As music defined. Oh, I want Dynamite, man. Just because I can, because I like Dynamite. Dynamite's good. Oh, we annoyed it. There we go. We're sort of there, aren't we? Do they still fall off? Are you going to tell me the AI is more reliable in this? I mean, they still do the whole cycle walking thing, like... But like, he's not falling off as quick as he does in the final, is he? He falls off it every time in the final. Wow, this used to be way more perilous. It's not a problem, I mean, we got God mode, but... I always really liked this level in the final. Look how big that mess used to be. We could probably get up there, I mean, probably just blast ourselves up there, I would think, but... Let's try and do it legit. I mean, it's got music, you'd think the level's probably quite far in development. You'd think. I mean, it may not be. We might find out that it's a total shit heap, but... where were we? We wouldn't be able to go that way. I'm guessing there must be one of those hazard suits would be the way this was meant to be, which, with you getting used to it the way it is, seems almost unfitting. There's a lot of ammo supplied though. Oh, that's good. That's some of the final game lacks. I don't know whether they took it out or it just seems a lot, because we're used to empty levels by now. Oh, I was hoping we could blow it up. Well, I guess we're going to have to walk on the lava sooner or later. Got a present for you, plant. Just because I can. Wow, they used quite a lot of sectors here. I don't know if we got more or less. This does actually look more detailed than I remember it, so... I wouldn't be surprised if it was and they'd cut it out just due to how badly the final game runs. Has it got down there? A Hellhound as well. I think it's dead though, so... There's all these little nooks and grannies around here, man. Puzzling. Right. The fuck I saw the napalm going past him, obviously. Okay, that's a long way to fire it. He finally falls off, but only when we've killed him anywhere near enough. That shit, the AI is more reliable. Not the delirium shrooms. Oh, look who it is. It's Mr. fucking Floaty Wings over there. Yeah, fucking should you. Them shrooms, man, those are gonna bite me. Oh god, they're everywhere. They're working at the actual floor height and not the slope height. Kind of a shit bit of programming to get that to work, I would think. Don't like doing things like calculating slopes. Like, I've only ever really had to do it from Concord in Duke 3. Okay, let's just stand still while this wears off. But yeah, it's really shite. Oh, that's interesting. That's... You know what? You get to that bridge at the start by a teleporter, don't you? So I think we're Oh, this is different. So I think we will probably have to jump to it, because teleporters, as we know, do not work yet. That wall looked like it moved. I think it's the curvature of my screen. almost looks like there's a different way in here. I'm not... Like, we haven't got a crouch key. I don't think we're going to be able to get in this way. What does that do? Okay, there was plenty of hellhounds and shit in here. He says, as there's one hellhound. Oh, that's minging. Huh. On the final version of the... You know what, actually, those skull sprites, they're still in the final game and they respond to frequencies. Like, if you set a tag to match them, they start blinking the eyes for a little while. Wonder what they were gonna do. Okay, man, these shrooms suck. I mean, yes, it's a pretty nice effect, but it doesn't run good. Possibility my K5 one, I've got it tipped on its side right now. It is at a point where the heat is rising towards the fan that's blowing out, but you know, I've not run it like this before, so I don't know if it's gonna like it. That fucker is setting traps. Well, this is definitely different. Although it's a little bit messy, I can see why they would change this. Yeah, actors don't work well on sprites. Much more open up here. That's an elevator. This goes to what would be the end of the level in the final, at least. And there's a bunch of swatty souls in it. Well, let's go have a look over here and see what we can see. Oh shit, let's just take the shroom in, take the shroom in. Oh man. Like the end point used to be through there. Hopefully it doesn't end. I don't know what it is with people speaking Spanish on my streams, but I don't speak the language. I have an odd suspicion there may be robots around. Fine by me, it counts as audience interaction, whatever. Well, there's no point we're going down there. I just wondered if that little ledge was there already. It's not. It is, I mean. Still, I'm a little tired today. Right, well, there's not really much we can do up here now. Obviously, the level ending's not implemented. Well, this is already here. So if it goes anywhere at all. Shoot that gargoyle up the arse because I don't like it. He's a bit of a tosser. Oh yeah, those little green plants. New for the plasma pack, of course, even though this is before the fucking non-nerf plasma pack, or even the fucking... Oh, it's that Raven sprite. It's interesting. I wonder if we can pick it up. Raven flights. Well, I don't know what that does, and I don't. If it does anything, I don't know how to use it. But as there's nothing left to do in the level, really, let's just mash random buttons and see if anything happens. Doesn't appear that way, does it? I guess whatever it was meant to do doesn't work. There is still a reference to it in that you can see in the level editor in the final. I remember using the sprite as a key once though, like key 7. It's a little bit strange, that is a thing that still works in the final game. But Raven Flight, yeah, it does nothing. Like, the final game doesn't even acknowledge it. JBOIL. It's 2020, that's easy to remember. Okay, well, it's not a start the game. Oh, this is the. Yeah, okay, I think I know this. This is the Charnel House map, isn't it? Pretty certain it is. More of this throw the switches to getting the level crap, is it? It wouldn't surprise me. Wow, is there actually anything in here yet? I'm guessing it. Well, we've acquired a cultist upon sending the elevator up. I guess there's something up there, but it would have to exist this way because there's no... Okay, it is. I think we've already seen this. I don't think this is going to be any different. I think we've already been in this version of this map. Indeed, it does not appear that there is anything new here, which is a shame. I already see the basic layout of a few things sort of taking shape, but it's not really anything to write home about yet. I'm sure we just passed through that. Is that a sprite wall up there? Because that almost felt like it was when I jumped through there. I don't know. I don't think it is. That texture's way larger than that. Who knows? Ceiling collision's a little bit weird in build. Like you want to try Duke 3D sometime. You can swim up in at least one of the source ports into ceilings indefinitely. It doesn't look like you're moving, but if you monitor the player's coordinates, it gets higher and higher. It's just weird. JCache1B. I'm sure we've been in these, but... But we'll have a look. Yeah, I never cleaned the folder out after last time. Yeah, I think we've been in here. Pretty certain we have. Let's have a quick look at it though. You never know. Yeah, I'm sure we've been in here. I wonder if the Swadiosaurs... No, they can't get hold of in this. Let's just ignore them. Yeah, I think we've definitely been in here. No, we'll have a quick run. Okay, so this is where the exit would be. So it obviously revolves around this hub area here, is the intention. It looked like we actually just saw the sectors load in. That might just be my display. Never really know, because I mean it takes hits to the frame rate in doorways and shit, but yeah, we've definitely been in here. I don't think we must have done all of those. It's unlikely I would have just done one with that name when we did it. J-Crypt, isn't this one broken or something? Oh, god damn it. Yes, we have been in here. Please kill me. Come on, zombie, now's your time to shine. You're a useless enemy. Fuck that level. JD Temple. Yeah, I think we've probably done these. So, what haven't we done? We'll keep having a look, I guess. You know, there will be a... you've got to be able to skip these in when you watch it back, so because the timestamps will be there. So once I find something interesting, I'll jot it down. Oh, what an interesting level. Yes, we have seen this one. I really need to clean this shit out the folder. We've seen J-House, we've seen J-Mouse, I know, we've seen J-Sewer. Okay, I think we've seen the Kev maps as well. If I can type through it. Oh man, it's too warm. It's too fucking warm. Oh my god, this is ugly as shit. Oh, no, maybe it isn't. Okay, so we were probably at about 25-30, we'll write it down as. Not sure if we have seen this, but... I don't know how much map there is. It looks old and abandoned, so I'll be honest with you. It looks like a display piece because there's... Oh no, there's one tile missing. That's not good level design, man, because you don't really notice it. I mean, I know you... Wow, you didn't even unblock that. That's just crap. I don't know, man. I don't like that design. That's not... I like the rest of it, like the aesthetics of it, with a bit of shading and stuff. It's going to look pretty good. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. We're just going to be dead-ended very quickly, I would think. Okay, I'm guessing something has changed in the game since this was built. I'm probably right in thinking it's an old map, but textures are still consistent mostly. Wow, are we supposed to go in here? You know, kill the bats. Nothing dies. There's something very strange about the where this works. I have no idea what we're looking at right now. Oh, we've got booze. No, I can't pick anything up. What's the deal with that? Is it like tags and things? I guess we could investigate at some point. Not today, because I'm not... I'm going to say it's probably a door. Not quite sure why that just happened, but... This is a very strange level. This is... Like, look at the... If there's anywhere else we can go, I don't think we're going to get there. I'm not seeing any sectors beyond this one. I think we've probably just hit the end of the map. I'm going to map edit. Just to make sure we didn't miss anything in there. I don't think there's anything interesting. It's one of those where you can sort of see, like, they had somewhere to go with it, but never went there. Yeah, that's also weird. I'm starting to think that that might be where a previous level ended or something. Like, it might have been meant to look like you were going to go through the bushes. I like hiding out in bushes. It's pretty cool, you know. You see some weird shit. Like, occasionally people park their car and fuck, so you can watch them do that. You know, it's like, not real fun, because I don't really get much enjoyment out of watching other people fuck. Like, I'd rather be doing the fucking myself. But you can film it and sell it to other people who like to watch other people fuck. You know, that's a thing. You can do that. Yep, there's nothing else in here. What a strange little level. It actually feels quite amateurish, doesn't it, this? To be honest, we may as well stay in this for now, because I don't think we're going to find anything new in here. Yeah, these are going to be very small levels. So at 29:30, JACCUZI.MAP. Let's have a look at it in the editor. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be missing any groundbreaking gameplay. again, we can sort of see what this bloke was going for, who designed this. And it's actually pretty nice again. Like, I think if you tidied it up, the shading there is very nice. How many... I was going to say, that's not just one sector there. It's not as much as it looks like. He's done a nice job of that. Oh, that's actually really nice. Like, you know, the shading's not quite there yet, and like the detail level isn't quite what it is, but where there is detail, it looks good. Look at the little archway thing he's going on up there. Like, I know they're just sprites, but everything's just sprites and sectors. You know, it's about using those sprites and sectors in a way that looks good. And I quite like that. That's pretty nice. I wonder what the plans were for these, though. That's the thing. I always have to sit there and think, where did they want this to go? What would this level have grown into? He seems to like levels that loop back around on themselves. I guess he's trying to compact them down and use, like, less of the board. I mean, the board isn't that big. You can expand it, I believe. I don't think we're at the absolute limits. Maybe we are, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that it's a 32-bit, like, signed integer. Whereas that would imply a 16-bit signed integer down there. But I'm sure the arrays that hold this information are... I could be wrong, you know, I'm not a goddamn level fucking game engine engineer programmer dude. That's not my job. I don't do that. I just dick around with things and hope like fuck what I'm trying to do works to any degree, and it often doesn't, and I get really mad and call everything shit. Oh, upside down gargoyles. Well, that's a new one on me. I don't like when people do that in user maps. It looks shit most of the time. I think, doesn't this game enforce enemy sizes and orientations at start? At least in the final, I think it does. I'm not sure what the fuck he was going for with this. Again, I can see like there's ambition in it, but it's just not far along enough, and you've got these weird little bits that stick off like just a bit strange. Like, was there meant to be something back here? I had to guess. I'd say there was meant to be a wall here, and that would be your entrance to something. Like, then why does that bit come back? That's what I mean. It's a little bit strange. Now look at these. These probably don't work, so I don't... I just went in another map and didn't mark it, didn't I? Let's just mark it as 30 minutes. And we're probably going to be in the editor more and more. It's probably faster to look in the editor and then just come out and run the game if we want to. It's one of them plants again. That's not a very convincing drawbridge there, Kev. I'm not, or just a convincing bridge in general. I'm not impressed by that. We need to add some more sprites. We need to... Wow, we can see through it there. It's probably not in the same sector, is it? It is. Wow, did it really used to be that bad at drawing? I've forgotten. See what we can do here. Let me try something here. Let me try something. Let's do a little bit of build magic. And you press it one-sided like that. And you press it one-sided like that. And then you come out and you deselect, and then it's in a bad mood. I'm just prattling around. I'm sorry, but it's annoying me. It's getting my fucking selective OCD up. Look, I'll show you. This is what you want to do, right, Kev? Like, address the guy as if he's here. Like, we're not even going to do a good job of this. We're just going to stretch them out until they're long enough. That's how we do it. There we go. What we do is we probably put them the wrong way or something. Is that? Oh shit! There we go. Right. Yeah, and then we. Not sure we can lock with the mouse in this version, by the way. Yeah, I mean it's still going to draw through, and I think it's too. Oh god, I forgot they centre aligned on this. Yeah, blood's a little bit fucking. There you go, Kev. That's how you make your bridges look better. It's a small detail, but it works a lot, and it's efficient because, which yours wasn't, because yours didn't have one-sided flags on. You see, because when you look through, you can see the one on the bottom. It won't draw this side, nor will them outer pieces. It'll only draw one side of them. I'm not here to do level design tutorials. But just to make sure. Yeah, there's nothing else in there. Oh no, I didn't save my bridge. Kevin1.MAP. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, this place is a bit weird. 36. Like I said, though, this Kevin guy, he's got ambitions. This reminds me of Shadow Warrior a bit. Textures don't, but... You know that level that has the misaligned door texture right at the start? Sort of reminds me of that. Can't remember the name of it. I'm not good at remembering level names. Well, this one has actually quite a bit of stuff here. See, again, I can see this kind of ambition in this. Like, it's all really basic. That's got a pellet, hasn't it? It does. You know, there's one thing that... It's not as much of a thing now, but it used to irritate me greatly about people on the internet, because the people who seemed to be the most successful were the ones who knew fuck all about the subject matter. Like, you know, they'd be like, hey, let's strip down this thing, let's have a look at this prototype of the game, yet they know nothing about game development, and I don't know that much, so I'm not, like, blowing my own horn here. I'm not the best person for this at all, because my knowledge is quite limited on the technical side of things. I know how the machine works, but that's about it. So a lot of, and even then I don't know tons about that. Like, I've just got a basic primitive grasp on it. But yeah, obviously I know at least enough that nice use of sprites there, Kev. That makes up for that bridge, dude. Nice, that's more efficient because you've only got one sprite floor, but you can't really tell, like, you know, that is one sprite there. Look, it's not two like I would do. Because I'm not as efficient a level designer as old Kev here. He's good at optimising things. But, yeah, it used to irritate me immensely. Like, they'd have no idea, and it'd usually be over simple things. And of course, if they're a big channel and like hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people have watched it, it's like, well, that's great. Those people are going off. They think this guy's great because they don't know any better, but yeah, I don't know, it just used to irritate me. Even things like the Angry Video Game Nerd a little, when he'd yell at things and it'd be some problem that had such a simple technical explanation, it would sort of irritate me, but less so in that case because that wasn't the point of what he was doing, so it didn't really piss me off in that instance, because it's like, well, he's actually just doing this for comedic effect, so it doesn't matter so much there. But when it was people claiming to actually be doing things on a technical level, it used to irritate me immensely. KEVSTSTY.MAP. What a fucking name that is. Oh, this is a bit ugly, isn't it? He likes these just random square things sticking out the side of walls like here. I don't get what that is. I get the impression this guy sort of works slowly though, this designer. Because I mean, I figured the levels were old, but all the textures have worked. We've got this weird blue again. I mean, it's sort of okay. Hang on, that's right, they are their own textures, they're not paletted. You can actually see there's a bunch more of them. I wonder what it was about. Well, maybe they're for underwater use. Duke 3D has like an underwater version of one of its stone textures, or maybe it's underwater only, I think. But you know, it's not uncommon to have textures that are specific to underwater. So if you can do everything with just one texture, it's gonna be a lot better. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This ain't bad. Explosives. Holy fuck, it's a giant washing machine. Look at that animated texture, man. That is... like, I know it's just an animated texture, but that's nice. It is a washing machine, isn't it? What the fuck do you wash in it? Well, I could probably give you something. It's the fucking devil's washing machine, man. The devil has a washing machine. Oh, look at that. Come on, would it have killed the plumbers just to put a bit of pipe from there to there? Like, it can't be that hard, man. Or just, in fact, you didn't have to bring it out there. You could have just stuck it in the wall. Maybe put, like, a door or a wooden panel there if you need to, maybe we'll need to service that thing. But, I mean, that's just disgusting. I don't want that in my laundry room. You know, what if I'm in a rush and I just throw my clothes on the floor and it blocks the drain and then we get shit and blood all over the place? I mean, that would be shit. What a crap plumber. It must be fucking KWL or something, you know? Fucking old city council again. That's just fucking funny. That. Why did you bother texturing that? Oh, you can see it. So, yeah, Kev here has built a washing machine. I know this is like the only level designer I've referred to by name, but that's because it's the only one whose name I kind of know, because it says it in the file name. Fucking... oh, the evil washing machine. I like the thought of... hang on a minute, that is... this guy has some very strange ideas about how to design levels. It's another tight thing with like a pillar sticking out the end. It's all loops back on itself. It's a very unique style, man. I'll be honest with you, I've not seen anyone else design levels quite the same. There are many like it, but none quite like it. And that's the same building. What the fuck? What the hell? So there used to be more to this texture set, obviously. Well, what's going on here? Is that a sprite, or is it... it's not. Oh, they've split a wall here. Let's see that for it now. There is a sprite that... oh, the sprite will be at the bottom. Indeed. That might not quite be how I would have done it, but fine. You can put two textures on one wall, technically. At least I think you could do that already. We can have a look if we can find... well, anywhere that's not a parallax ceiling. We'll just raise the floor up and... oh, look at... there's a diving suit. This level, I guess, was meant to have water in it then. I guess we were going to go and plunder the innards of the washing machine at one point. Just fucking Banjo-Kazooie or something. Odd design, man. I don't quite get this guy. Either way, let us have a look here. Is this something we can do? Yes, it is. It does have a SWAT flag. I knew it did. So you could have done that. But I mean, it would have used one more sector. And several more walls, because you'd have to make a triangle. So I can see his point. But I think sectors draw faster than sprites. Hello, Dexel. I just realised the other day I've been misreading your name since the start. I've been swapping the S and the K around. It's funny how your brain does things like that. 44 oh, no, what was the map name? KRADU, with no key, apparently. 4, 5. Oops, I've mislabeled one up there. Anyways, let's have a look what's happening in this map. Well, actually, this looks pretty large. Might load this in the... Oh no, it's one of these plasma pack maps, isn't it? Well, sod loading that in the game. I'm not doing that. I hate the plasma pack map. Hang on a minute. I thought there was a building up there. There is. This must all be sprites that it is all sprites. Oh, that is minging. That is absolutely minging. Who did that? I guess that explains the long stunt. Hang on it. They have not done that. Surely they have not done that. No way. No, I think I'm just not looking at it right. They can't have done. Well, yeah, nobody can read like mine anyway, so... Well, that was why I changed it to high treason, but I've started using the old one again. I'm just like, solid. Okay, no, they haven't. I thought they relied on the wall blocking the sprite. Actually, it wouldn't stop it drawing in this, would it? I think if you stuffed it inside the wall, it would still draw. Oh man, this level didn't change very much, I don't think. I'm just... We've seen this map before, and it never grows on me, this level. It never grows on me. We don't have that option yet, do we? We'll just do that. Yeah, this level, man. We've definitely seen this. Right, we'll check map. Same map. Cave Red Room. We've been in this one, haven't we? This has broken textures. No, this was one of the first ones we did. M1. What is this? A motorway now. Let me make an entry for this. There we go. Let's see what's in here. Oh, this actually looks pretty nice. Well, I don't think that's sprites. I think that's like a different wall texture. It is, but... Wow, are they a few? Yeah, there's plenty of variations of that, and they've used a bunch of them here. Look at this. Like, this is something I don't really see done enough. Like... Wow, that's part of the same... Yeah. Man, somebody put the detail in on this level. I don't think it's going to really go anywhere as yet. Oh, those doors look like they would at least try to work in the game. It looks new enough that it probably uses the current tagging system, at least. What the hell is... I mean, that gun I don't think had a... Okay, we're going to load this one in the game. I don't think we'll be able to get very far in it, but... we can sure as hell have one. But yeah, I quite like the looks of this level, like, visually. Just cracks in tiles and missing pebble dashing on walls. There's a random vase here. That's unbustable, apparently. Well, they've obviously anticipated vandals been around. Well, we'll go this way, because I'm sure we'll be able to get back up from down here, you know, with how reliable everything... Oh, no, the doors don't use this tagging system. Crap. We can get through them, though. Well, that's a start. Does that go any... It does. Wow, there's more level. Well, that was an interesting way of doing things, putting sprite windows like that. They seem to have done that a lot in these older levels. It's very Realms of the Haunting-esque to do that. We've gone for a carved fireplace. That must be made of masked walls. I'll tell you what, it's like hit and miss, because like it's clearly really unfinished, but the level of detail where it is really nice in here. And then you've got rooms like this that are just bare, and rooms like this where they just haven't done anything with it yet. That's one of them sprite arches. Which are obviously designed to fit with this wall texture set here. Are there any more of these open? I don't think so, but I mean there's not going to be anything in there because there's sectors back there. Right, that we can get into from down there, I do believe. I think we can. Looks that way. Guessing it's only as a way out, yeah. Non-functioning elevator. And non-functioning shit room, I don't know what it's for. It doesn't do anything yet. There's no walkway up there, is there? Yeah, there is. Just a bit of one. Oh, broken textures. No, it only goes to the other side of the doors there, I think. Maybe it doesn't, actually. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not sure it does. I did not. This is, I wouldn't be praising levels of detail in my maps, I'd be ripping on it somewhat rotten. No, this is the prototype of the game, so this is something the developers made before the game was released. What the hell? I think somebody set the sector wrong for those. So yeah, I don't know who made it, because it's not named. It's possibly another one of this Kev Parsons levels, but I don't know, because they didn't write it anywhere in the map that I know of. These are maps that weren't, for the most part. It seems the majority of the maps that are included with the alpha were scrapped, but some of them, like that one that you saw before, was used in the plasma pack. So it seems the whole taking things out of the game and then releasing them as an expansion later thing has gone on for a long time. These disappearing sprites, the sector number has got to be set wrong on them. Like, I'd look at it in the editor to confirm it, but I'm pretty confident in this thought. Let's find a spot where it... What sector is that belonging to, I wonder? Having said that, that wouldn't explain why they flicker. I don't generally see that, because if the sector's drawing, the sprites should still draw. Unless it comes later in the drawing list somehow, but then it just would never appear, you'd think. Unless something only updates every so many cycles. Yeah, now we're starting to get into, like... Oh, there's nothing in there. Well, I think we're done with this level. This level had potential, like... Let me have a look at that and see if I can figure out what's going on. I don't think you can see the sector number for a sprite in this version of build, but, well, we can have a quick check. I don't know, we might be able to look at it. I don't think we missed anything, but there are areas off the side of the map. Oh, with broken textures. I wonder what these were meant to connect to. These... Maybe we've been built out here and we're gonna There's just odd little things off the side. That I think's connected by a door that's not visible. Must be a secret room. Now, this actually looks like it would have connected onto that area. We can join it on, have a look, see if the heights match. Oh, hang on a minute. We'd have to insert a point there first. So let's see if the heights match up. Well, I don't know where that other one would connect. That doesn't appear to fit anywhere into what's here. So do those match? They do not. So that was not meant to connect onto the... It's very similar to this area. Wow, I don't think those gargoyles are... Wow, okay. Yeah, the game state goes weird sometimes because I can't for the life of me think what property these have that would be causing them to do that. Data 3 is set to something. I don't think you usually do that, but I don't know why it would cause that flickering. And why it would cause them to appear as gargoyles. Still, this one has it set as well. What about the one that appears properly? It's set differently is all we know. They're set to fat zombies. I don't understand why it's behaving in the way it is. Let's have a look if there's an ID down there. Maybe that's like... See, I'm sure spawners work that way, but yeah, I can't answer why they're flickering then. It doesn't... Maybe the sector number is wrong somehow. Maybe that's what... No, that can't be, because it wouldn't draw. I mean, the sector would be... Sector 2 would be nowhere near here, I'm sure. Unless this was like the first bit built, but it doesn't look that way. These are all high-numbered sectors. What a mystery. That's just going to be a mirror test, isn't it? There's not really much point looking in there. New 2. Oh, that's a... You know, I was going to make fun of it, but maybe not. 57... Oh no, it's another plasma pack map. Jesus Christ. Well, I think we saw this one already in another video, so I'm not going to spend too long in here because I don't like this level anyway. Lots of slurps in here. Makes me think maybe this level was built quite late, because I mean, it looks as though they've been here from the start, like they're an integral part of its design. It's good to know that Chernobog wants his like horrible, hellish caves to be accessible to wheelchairs. I mean, his cult, you know, it's very inclusive. That's very thoughtful of him. NLOKDAR. What a name. I think we've seen this already, haven't we? Maybe, no, we haven't. Okay, let me add it to the list. 5900. Assuming that is what it's called. No, don't quit. Yeah, that's what it's called. There's nothing interesting going to be in here because I can see the whole place is sectors. I'm guessing this was a test level. It served no purpose outside of maybe testing running jumps by the looks of things. Maybe collision. Still, we'll leave it in the list because, well, that's part of the game's development. PFALIGN.MAP. This is going to be another test level. You see, now we're going to start getting into test levels. But that's fine, you know, we'll have a look at the art someday to make up for the fact that now we're running out of maps. We're going to see a lot of these test maps that don't really do too much. Okay, yeah, we're obviously, it's about texture alignments. It's one of these where... It's one of the stars are... When you build a level, building stars tends to knock the wall textures out of alignment. Oh no, the frame rate's going to help. Frame rate is up in the top corner there, but I think it's just outside of what my scaler can catch. So you can't quite see the readout. PFFX. Oh god, this is going to be an effects test, isn't it? Ah, now, yeah, I've seen this. We've been in this one. There's no point in me looking at this one again. PFGEAR. Oh no, I don't think that we have. CONV.MAP isn't going to do as much good. Because those are for build, and this doesn't use the standard map format. CONV.DB, I don't know what that does. Maybe it'll tell us. Oh crap, we'll get there in the end. Oh, fuck off. Blood.MAP 6 converter. You see, I'm not sure that this is going to do us any good. What was the name of that map? It was just after PFFX. It was PFGEAR. Let's see if we can do this. It may work. Oh, right, that's for... Oh, it's just going to convert back into the same file, I see. Well, that's good. The original file doesn't exist on this drive anymore. It's now modified. Probably won't load anyway. Because I thought this was build 7. Apparently it's build 6 this is based on. I mean, it would allow slurps, but... That's kind of interesting. I thought it was build version 7. The chances of those working is extremely slim, but we'll have a look. I don't know exactly where we were. I'll just put it at 1 hour and like 30 seconds PF. The misadventures of PFGEAR.MAP. And I'm telling you, it won't even do anything. Like, I guarantee it won't do anything. It's not even going to work. Probably, yeah, because the tagging system changed since... Oh, you son of a motherfucking whore. Well, the gears would have turned, I would imagine. We could probably fix it. I mean... I kind of know how the X system works, but it's not really that interesting, is it? No, I don't think it's worth spending time screwing around with it like that. So, oh, of course, that will have moved the map somewhere else. Yeah, PFNARGAT. I don't know what that might be, but we'll have a look. PFNARGAT.MAP. Okay, is this... Oh. I just broke something because I forgot I wasn't in the game. I was trying to get murder. Because when the game's unwinnable anyway, you know, there's not much point in playing it legitimately. Well, the level of detail died quickly, and it came back. Okay, yeah, I don't mind this. It looks like that old Into the Shadows demo. Well, there's not much in here, but what is here is mostly pretty nice. I don't know, I like carved ceilings and pillars. It always makes a level look better when you do that. Usually. Not always. Sometimes it probably doesn't look right, but... Oh, PF test, really? Yeah, what's this going to be? A bunch of doors, I think. Yeah, we looked at this one. It tests a bunch of things. Poop. Well, this is going to be brilliant, isn't it? I'm guessing this is when they got saws working. Which are in the logs. QSEDMD. I'm sure we looked at the QS maps already. I think we did. I don't remember. We'll have a quick scout around in here. See what's going on. This place isn't that small. Ah, that's strange. I wonder where that would have led. We can sort of see. Not the most interesting level, but this one sure as hell didn't make it to the final, which is always interesting in its own right. Okay, there was meant to be something back here. Oh, Kev's taking notes on how the bridges were meant to be built. There's that sort of Dark Forces influence texture set going on again. Lots of sprite floors going on in here as well, and they actually look alright, which they don't always. They sometimes look a bit crap in the old software renderer. QSECMC. Oh, this looks like a torture instrument. How wonderful. Yep. It looks like somewhere they'd put you to kill you. Well, it's good to know that Chernobog supports assisted suicides. Hang on a minute, they've... Oh my god, there's no way they actually used them sprites. They bloody did as well. Cool. One of the levels actually has one of the Doom sprites in. Well, what do you know? I'm guessing that was on the to-do list to change. Thing is, the textures look correct, so I wonder why they even put that in at this point. Like, was it placeholdering for something? I mean, that would make sense. You can replace all of the instances of a certain texture in a level. That's like Tab to copy and Alt-C to change it. I'll show you, because we're not... Well, I will demonstrate it when we're done faffing around here, because it might ruin the appearance of something else in the level if I just do it now. But... Oh, that's our first glimpse of something that looks like a town. I've not seen this in any other level in this up to now. It's kind of interesting to see that at long last. But honestly, it sort of feels like, oh wow, we've actually made it home almost, sort of thing. It doesn't seem like you're going to stick around, you know. I kind of wonder if you weren't going to be around things like this and you were going to see them in the distance more than anything. Perhaps. It has a nice texture set, this game. Like, if it's used well, it can look brilliant. Oh, they had an archway texture for this. Well, I guess you were going to see it close up. But yeah, if I tab something like that, then that's my clipboard. So if I press return, it'll copy it over whatever. But if I tab something, and I'm sure it's Alt-C... Oh, did this not do it? I might be wrong here. I may be wrong. Apparently I am. Well, I'm going to have to read up on that, because I'm sure that was a thing. Maybe it's maybe I've gotten softened up by maps to 32 all these years. I don't think there's anything else in this map, but yeah, I haven't seen another one that has kind of like town area like that. Even if it's really small, that is a thing. I should mark that, but I can't remember when we actually went in there. JHOUSEK.MAP. Somewhere around there, where it was close enough. Yeah. Well, this isn't very interesting, but it exists. It looks a bit like one of Doom's maps. You know, I'd be interested to know if it was. I think Doom 2, from what I remember, has some city-like levels in it somewhere. That's okay, I figured you're on about the map I was in prior to this one. You know, everything's got a bit of a delay on it. QSEEME.MAP. Now, I really need to be adding these. Let me just check something. And that 1, 1, 2, Okay, now we'll go back in here. But yeah, I'd be quite interested if they had just like converted it from a Doom level and retextured it, but I don't think so. Well, this place looks interesting. I almost want to fix that sky. Yeah, well, I kind of went through Doom quite slowly and in pieces because I'd already played Dark Forces by the time I got round to playing Doom, so it sort of probably ruined it a bit for me. Because Dark Forces is ultimately a better game, let's be honest. Right, I don't think that'll... It does. Well, that's like magic. Okay, so seeing this with a proper sky texture... Oh, that's right. I guess if it's not valid, maybe it uses the fast one, because I'm sure they're made out of... There's something weird with how skies work in this game. I can't remember exactly how... Hang on a minute. Oh, that is such a shame that that does not work. Whatever happened to this sky texture? That's kind of cool. It's got like castles and stuff. I can see it with like animated lightning and it looked tacky as hell, but... Oh yeah, Doom on the 386 is not really great. Like, I don't know as to how the Dark Forces team got the Jedi engine to run better. Like, it shouldn't, because it does so much more stuff. It's so much more advanced than the Doom engine. It's like, I thought they had to be lying on that, on the box for that. So yeah, I don't think id did a crap job of programming the Doom engine. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying LucasArts did an exceptionally good job of programming the Jedi engine. I don't know if it would scale down to your SX25 very well, though. I think it recommends a DX33 as an absolute minimum on the box. But yeah, I think, from what I remember, it was playable full screen with sound and music turned on dark. Whereas Doom, there's no way we were going to do that. I can't find the sky texture I wanted to use. I'm probably just going to keep that red one in place, rather than sitting in the texture browser all that. Oh no, this is... Yeah, it has these strip skies, doesn't it? There we go. That's what I wanted. I don't know, man. I just wanted to see it with a proper sky texture. And you know what? It actually looks pretty nice in here. I mean, you know, we've got, like, little fine details. We're sort of missing some things we could do with making the floor a little better, but... Smashable windows. Oh, yeah, I know you meant Dark Forces. Doom, I mean. I was just going on all my tangents. I do that sometimes. It's just a thing. I'll go off on something and just carry on belligerently on the subject until I'm done. Until I get bored of myself. Yeah. We've got like sectors for the trees to have shadows. That's a shame that level wasn't developed further. QSEFMF now, apparently. Okay, 11615. I kind of hope that it's going to be more of that same level, because that looked pretty good. It doesn't look like it is. If you've not tried Dark Forces, though, you really should. I mean, it's a pretty awesome game. I mean, some people really don't like it, though, because it can get quite puzzle-centric in places, which, to me, is one of the best things about it. I really like that, but some people don't. And, like, the difficulty of them is, in some cases, a little bit high. But yeah, really awesome game. It influenced Blood directly, as it notes it in the documents that are in the folder for this alpha. And I'm pretty positive it influenced Duke 3D and a bunch of other things. Like, they got so many things right, it's like, yeah, you know, it's not, you don't run into things that are pulled off so well that often. And plus the fact Carl Catan is just badass. You know, I think the Star Wars movies should have been about Catan. They would have been better. He would have just gone and punched Darth Vader to death. He would have punched the Death Star to death. And I don't know what else, because I'm not actually a Star Wars fan, so, yeah, in reality I probably shouldn't like the game, but somehow it works. Yeah, I did wonder about that, because there are some of them, not this one, but there's some levels in this alpha that actually look pretty good, and I did wonder if anyone had ever polished them up. I'm sure somebody said, hey, there's a Doom Marine, check that out. It's another one of these. I wonder what the deal is with that. I didn't think they were used in anything. But yeah, I'm sure some of them had been scrubbed up, but a good number of them just appeared in the plasma pack anyway. Mostly the ones that were seemingly close to completion. Now that's kind of interesting. That's another indicator that makes me think submergible sprite water might have once been an intended function of this game that never actually made it into fruition. What the hell does that say? One-eyed monks rule. Peculiar. Well, this is the same level, I'd guess, but maybe a later revision. Oh, look like much of anything else exists. This looks like that same room, but it's been moved and has had 0 work done it. Send saving. I don't know. Duke Nukem 3D's in the Duke Nukem's in the final game, so they have a reference to Duke 3D in it. But I'm not sure with Doom, purely because there are a bunch of like other sprites in the texture set. I wonder if it's still there. They might have pulled it out in this revision. It was somewhere down here, wasn't it? Right there, I think. It was still here, but no, there's like a bunch of Doom sprites in there. You know, we've got the Marine. We've already got Duke Nukem sprite in here, actually. Look at that. And that's something they drew themselves. Yeah, we've got the little soldier boys. Looks like it has. Has that got a palette applied to it? No, apparently not. I'm just. Yeah, okay. Imps give me gas. Those ginger skull things. What's that called? I can't remember. Cacodemons, spider demons. I can't remember this dude's name. Oh, we've got Boob Lady as well. That's always a good thing. I'm not sure I should be showing that on my stream, should I? The algorithm will probably detect it or something and get me shut down and age restricted. I want to know where it's from. If anyone knows where that picture's from, please do tell me, for research purposes, of course. Yeah, there's like a bunch of Doom textures in that. I thought that was labelled then. I was like, God, they actually bother to label it. QSEGMG. Oh. 12230. QSEGMG.MAP. Okay, let's see what it has in store for us now. That ugly water texture, the Doom. You know, I'm starting to wonder if he might have once been used to denote the starting point in a level or something. So he always seems to be stood in a corner. This level's pointless. This is another one where it looks like a test, and I'm actually thinking that water texture might not supposed to be there. Like the trees and the wall textures making me think maybe this level's quite old and they didn't change the textures over, but I could be wrong. They might have just used the fast textures they had. I mean, when you only care about geometry, you don't always do a particularly good job. These map files are named in such a way that it's almost like a machine named them, or like a script or something. Oh, well, this level's not wheelchair accessible. It's already losing points. Look at this crap. Fucking stars. And they put walls there to stop them climbing over it. That's real nice. Well, yeah, it could be an in-joke. I'd still wager they're just placeholders for something, but I'm surprised to see them actually in levels that are using the current texture set, because some of the levels were built for a different set of textures, and so, you know, you'd think they'd have removed it when they were updating everything else. It's nice to see that railing sprite used. I don't think they actually used it anywhere in the final game. And there's a shorter version of it in this as well, which is not in the final game at all. It's odd knowing that the game used to have more textures. It's really strange. I think they really did a wrong by removing a lot of the detailed textures, but I'm not surprised given how crap the final game runs. You know, traditionally alphas run worse, but yeah, not in this case. 25 Q. Whoops, Q. I'm sure we loaded this level before, but there's a raft there. It is tagged to move, but it couldn't possibly go anywhere. I mean, maybe this was another test map, I guess. Like, it doesn't look like something that would have developed into anything good, but who knows? Maybe they had grand plans for it. I doubt it. There's a sector out there, but it's completely empty. I don't know what that's about. Those levels, those are just weird. Like, they're named and built almost like a machine did it. There's something wrong with this. Rigmar. I think we already looked in this one, but if not, I honestly don't remember. 1, 2, 6, 3, Well, we'll take a look. Ew, oh man. Actually, it doesn't look bad. I was like, oh man, them textures are gross, but it actually sort of looks alright. They've used them in a pretty good way. It's like a difficult set of tiles to make look good, and they've nearly pulled it off. Oh, sprite pillars. I see. Was that a teleporter, or was that going to be an elevator? I mean, it couldn't have gone anywhere. This game doesn't have transport elevators. It must have been a teleporter, but it's not decorated like one. We have no way of knowing because it's using the old tagging system, and I don't think that's referenced anywhere. That isn't a valid sector type in here. Oh, we've broken it now. The little label's gone. Let's keep looking because it... Oh, that looks gross. What the fuck is that all about? I'm thinking there might have been another texture here at one point, and they haven't... Like, you know, maybe a detailed texture for those. I'm guessing that'll be... Sprite up there? Is it? No way, they have not... How does that... Have they doubled the sectors over? I see. These... masks... Yes, I bet this texture set used to have an archway. I bet that there was an archway for this texture set here. You could probably remake it because it's probably just this texture, like, but twice the width, one flipped over, without the grey wall bit in. That would be my bet. You could probably remake that texture. Let me stuff that archway there just to see sort of what it would have looked like. I bet that's what they were going for. I bet that's what was there. Wow, this is not bad. It's not real good, but it's not real bad. This is going to be ugly. Yes. Yeah, we've clearly not quite gotten this level up to speed with the new textures. Which does sort of make me think more that the Doom stuff was placeholder and that they just didn't get round to replacing, you know, the textures in the level with what they'd been replaced with in the tiles yet. But they've done some of it. That's really weird. Why are the walls tagged? What was this doing? Are these masked? No, there's like 2 levels to them. That's actually quite unusual. I'm not sure why that would be a thing. Because that is one texture. I don't know why you'd have to break it up like that. It's a little bit strange. Let's see if we can get in that bit with the round window. Well, we can get in here. That's this Dark Forces looking texture set again. Like those. This grey shit though. Right, yeah. Was this game meant to have transport elevators like Duke 3D at one time? Or maybe it even did. Come to think of it, what are the tags for those in Duke 3D? I don't remember. I don't think it's 10. I could check, like I could look it up on the info suite, but well, it's not that hard to do. There's not much point in me doing that, I suppose. You know, anybody that cares enough would probably look it up themselves. Not that hard to open the red light district level and have a look at it, I suppose. But I don't have it installed on here, so yeah, that's where we started. This area is sprite heavy because it's full of cultists and bullets. So I think that pretty much only leaves us this area back here, which is full of water, and it's another one of these big hexagonal structures. These seem to be a recurring thing I'm noticing. And these blue tiles and these blue walls again. I honestly don't think these are the textures this area was meant to use. It's a little bit ugly out here, I'll be honest. It's not so ugly in here though, that's not too bad. So this is another one of them levels where I can see there's a level of ambition behind it. Maybe those were teleporters that... Oh, man, this level's weird. This level's really weird. Rot test. It's going to be a rotating sector test, isn't it? Yeah, not much point in us loading that or even documenting it. Sectors.MAP. So we'll put lots and lots of sectors in. And they did. SHATEST. Shat. Oh, does this do some weird things with lighting? Okay, what I'm going to do here... I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this. I think we've seen this, and I think the level usually starts up here. But I want to know what this is about. Is that torch lightable or something? Well, we can connect it up to there. I'm not going to do a pretty job of it, but we can connect it up. Really badly. I'm seriously not going to do a good job of this. This does not represent my usual works. Lock on there, you bugger. There we go. Locking onto cycles. It's always a recipe for good times in this engine. You just know it's going to end brilliantly. There we go. Right, I'm going to document that has been at about 134. Let me see. Yeah, I don't remember these being something with which you could interact. Like, you could do that sort of shit in the final, but it's doing nothing to it. But yeah, must be shade. I'm guessing their intention was that you'd control the torch and the... It would affect the shading, but they mustn't have implemented it yet, or it was implemented and then broken by the time this build came around. Either way, yeah, the shading works. That's something we're already aware of. It behaves as it would be expected to. Although this doesn't appear to do much of anything. And the shading behaves kind of weirdly on that sector there. I'm not sure what that's about. I think this bit's broken. Who knows? Well, we have not got many levels left to look at. Like, at all. Because all those test whatever maps are all pretty much the same, and I know we looked at the newest one in there. Sleep5.MAP. Appears like it might have been meant to be an actual level, this one. It's unusual they'd put this kind of detail into a test level. Odd design choice. It's very square. This looks like one of Kev's maps. Only it doesn't have the pillars sticking out of the edges like his stuff. Right, that's a Veta, I'm guessing. No, this room's alright though. I don't mind this. Don't get enough round rooms in build engine levels, which I can understand why, because they're not very easy to build. Is that? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure that's pallet. Is it pallet 5? Pallet 5, I actually remember. I'm surprised. See, it's strange. I don't remember much about building levels in this game now, but this was actually the game I learnt build from. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a mixed bag, this level. This area, they could have turned this into something really good. They've even got like an overlap in the shading though. That's kind of neat. Again, you can see there's ambition here to have done something good if they'd carried on. But alas, it wasn't to be. Except maybe this one's slightly more updated. So I'm guessing that's another texture change that hasn't happened. I like the slanted shading they've got. I wonder what that was meant to be. It doesn't look like it's meant to be that. I'm guessing it was meant to be transparent. Yep, there's stuff out there, alright. So those were obviously meant to be some kind of transparent window texture. God knows what that's about. That looks very strange. Like torture stuff. Yeah, those are still broken. Doesn't look like it's been drastically improved. Since the last version. Wow, we've built like a couple of extra sectors here. If they were going to overlap that would be... It might actually be here, but it'd be unusual from what we've seen of how they built these. They've changed this to a sprite floor. But it's this dodgy blue texture and it looks really out of place. That is not letting me pass. That wall has blocking enabled. This goes nowhere and the sectors have got tags applied to them, so there was obviously some effect. Oh, that's okay, Dexel. I'm about done anyway, so you're not really going to miss much of anything, so yeah, no problems. Thanks for, like, you know, checking in here, man. Yeah, I don't think they've really built anything else in here since the previous revision. Damn, I think we've seen this one. We have, and it's an early version of that from the end of episode 3. It doesn't appear to be super early because we found that you could get from start to finish mostly, although the 10 was significantly smaller. Oh man, this chair is uncomfortable as all hell. I really need to replace it. Yeah, this is where it seems to start you when you go in the game, but yeah, from what we could tell, this was the dam, and it's all full of these blue textures. Very strange. Test maps. Have we? I think we've... well, I think we have been in every map there is to be in. Except JHOUSE, because that has its own video. Suppose we'll have a quick look at it for completion's sake then, and maybe we'll have a quick skim through the art, maybe look at some more stuff another time. I don't know if I want to live stream dicking around with development documents, but yeah, seeing as we looked at JHOUSE in its own video, we'll look at it in the editor here, but I mean, it has its own thing, so there's 2 versions of it, but they're not vastly different. What I remember. Let me just get myself a cigarette going. Yeah, we have done with the levels. I thought it would never end. Oh man. It sucks that the levels got somewhat boring towards the end, but we knew that would happen. You know, as you run out of levels to look at, the odds are you're going to end up with a bunch of scrap ones here and there. But we're done with them. We can move on to other things next time. I mean, I haven't got long left in me. 10 minutes at best, I would think, before I have to really think about going to sleep. Plus, I'm starting to feel a bit rubbish because I ate cheese today and I'm not really supposed to. I don't know why. It's not like lactose intolerance or anything. It's just specifically cheese if I eat. Which, I don't know. I think maybe it's because it's like my favourite food and I probably ate so much of it when I was younger that my body's just like, fuck off. I don't want any more. I shouldn't eat too much anyway because I'll lose weight. Like, it causes weight loss, cheese. At least cheddar cheese does. I don't know about other stuff. I think Red Leicester does. I think Red Leicester's even more so. The basics were here though, man, in this level. Yeah, we've already got overlapping areas. It's damn warm and this machine kicks out a lot of heat. It's killing me. Yeah, it's largely here already. This looks like a rotating sector. There is something behind that. And I want to find out what it is. Oh shit, I've not seen this before. That's a combination switch. I don't know what for. I would imagine it turns that around then. The thing is, we know the level exited somewhere where it started. So there's no point looking for the exit in here. There doesn't seem to be much of anything else. This doesn't have a fire burning on the carpet either, does it? Which is somewhat I remember, so this... I wonder which one's newer. The 2. Now the fireplace opens out the back. But yeah, the end of this level is right at the start, like... You start there, it ends there, in this weird lava room, like that. This might actually be... Yeah, so this one you'd think is the older revision. So it's a shame they took this candle bit out, because I like it. Like, it's just a simple little thing, but it was a pretty nice detail. And wow, there's no passageway out here as yet. The room where you can get 2 fire keys in the final build of the game for whatever fucking reason. I don't know if they fixed it in the plasma pack. They possibly did. Yeah, there's that fire on the carpet that I remember. This fireplace isn't openable. It has that rotating bit and that combo switch still though. There's... Wait a minute, that's the fridge, isn't it? Yeah, that's what's there. It's a mask wall. Just add a bit of detail. That's a nice touch, actually. They clearly gave a fuck about the haunting, like, right from the start. Which is probably why it's a lot of people's favourite level, and I can totally see why. Well, we'll have a look in the artwork until I have to get out of here in 5 or 10 minutes. So 1, 4, 6, 4, 7. Artwork. We're not going to look in too much detail, but we can have a quick look. Oh god, the gamma levels are off in here, aren't they? Well, we're still visible. What we'll do is we'll just page down through them, and if I see one that I think's animated, we can turn the animations on. But there are more mask textures and detail textures. I know some of them have been removed already. I mean, we sort of found one that I've not really seen mentioned in that one with the grey textures, where I figure there's an archway missing. And a lot of the texture sets always did feel incomplete in the final game, and we can see why now. We can see what it's that 1 pixel cursor. It's a really shit program. Edit art or art edit. And look, they had all these little details like this. What is it that even meant to be under? There's skulls under the floor. Huh. Talk about going over. Well, then again, I think like parts of England have like. Isn't London Bridge meant to have, like, the bones of children in it? Like, kids that died building it, and they just threw them in the foundations and everything. I don't know if it's true, but it sure as shit is a legend that went around. Look at that. There's, like, you can see through the gaps in the planks there. I always thought that was metal, but I'm actually thinking it's, like, wood now, looking at that. All these texture variants with details and these mask textures, man. It's that square window. It's like that one in Duke 3D, that in Lame Duke. It always makes me think of like the Countdown to Extinction album cover, which makes sense. I mean, the Duke 3D devs were certainly aware of that album, given they borrowed from it in Duke Nukem 2. Oh wow, that's offset slightly. Will that even tile properly? It probably will. This one texture set here was had an insane number of details in it. Yeah, what's the little gold bit at the top? It's probably like skulls under the... Oh, it's my cursor. I don't care, there's probably still skulls under the wood, knowing what they were going for here. The faces on the edges. I never really noticed those before. That's a painting. It's like a figure with a lamp, like a little demon kid or something. Maybe. I see a few things. There are like 2 people stood either side of a tree, or is it like the figures in the centre? Oh, that's Snake. Look at that shit, man. People will think you're up to something. We don't need more Harry Potter games on this. Now these are labelled as well, look at the bottom. There are some really nice mask textures, man. It was a crime to remove these. An absolute fucking crime. But you can see the mask arch textures are usually just, they have things removed but the edge details. It's like a little fireplace. I would do my house out with stuff like that, man. And I get rich and buy my island and my Japanese women that I get to molest every day. Which is in their job description, so I'm not doing anything wrong. Where's detail variants again, though, man? I mean, you know, look, there's one that's already marked for deletion. You could probably restore that, though, I would imagine. Could stuff it out the game like that, do some pixel editing on it, get it back in place. I mean, we have other textures of it to use as reference, you know. We'd definitely be able to get it looking right again. Because we could copy-paste the rest of it and just fix the bars. And I'm sure somebody will have used them in a mod for Blood somewhere. Rope texture, man. It's in the art, and I don't know that it's ever really used that much. I don't know if it's used at all in the final. No, it's just the way it looks because of the... I thought the pattern was different. Don't think that made it to the final, did it? That did. That did. That I think, but I'm not sure about. Look at that face at the top, man. That looks fucking nasty as shit. This texture set I really like. Like, in the final, this is fucking useless, this texture set. But here it was used in that one level I can't remember the name of. And it looks really fucking good. Well, you know when we were on about how I would kit my house out and shit? Yeah, I'd do it that sort of look, man. That'd be cool. That'd be like my study room and that'd be done that way. Now look at this texture. Look, this is one of them ones where you want to be on hallucinogenics and shit. Where's my cursor? I don't know if you can see the cursor. I think you can sort of faintly see it. That is definitely, like, there's a face there. Right fucking... God, I can barely see my cursor. Right fucking there, look. And then there's a hand there, grabbing an arse, right there, look. That's the ass crack of there, look. Tell me you don't see that. And I won't believe you. And there's like this big nose dude towards the bottom right corner here. He's looking up at her like, oh, this is your rot. I've come in to shoot God here. And you got like an evil face looking down at him like, no, you shouldn't do that. Well, like a boob lady there, like holds up the clouds. Yeah, look, there's her face. I don't know if you can see the little one-dot cursor. And obviously I can't edit this. Yeah, which is one of the reasons I live stream it. Because I can't get the files in Vegas. Fuck, that ain't gonna work. So many texture variants. I understand you'd have to remove them for performance, but I mean, it's kind of shit when you know the game's so badly optimised that they probably could have kept it in there if they'd optimised the damn code properly. Again, these variants just didn't make it. Such a shame. I'd love to see what people could build with all these additional textures, and I might have to look around. I've not ventured into the world of Blood mods very much. but I might sort of know someone who knows that sort of thing, so I might ask them. You know, I know they've dabbled with blood mods, so I know a couple of people who might have, and I think I might have to ask them if they know anything that used these textures that was any good, because I'm sure you could make something good out of that. Didn't make it to the final. Haven't we already been past that? I think it might be a duplicate of that. It's not that unusual to have. There's no point in even having those, but you can make it look good. All the little faces at the top there, look. It's fucking... Now, how would that tile look at the bottom right corner? That wouldn't be a tileable texture. I'm sure it was. I must be remembering wrong. Oh, we've got perspective in the artwork there, on the hearth. That's a little Nightmare 3D-ish, that, to do that sort of thing. 3 wide, I remember it being 2 wide. Like that. Okay, I don't know how that would have... See, there should be an archway version of that. Maybe there is, and we just haven't got there yet, but I don't think there is one. It's another texture set that was useless in the final, this. It's a very strange looking texture set. I never quite got what they were going for with this, but it looks evil, so... Still, nothing will surpass the evils of the evil washing machine that we discovered. How would that work? Would that tile be defined as standable? Like, without taking damage, I wonder. Yeah, the lava texture actually looks a bit different to me, but I'm not sure. Wow, man. Wow. This place is disgusting. These blue textures, like these must have been for underwater. Again, I can see like characters that have got the dude's face. He's got like a stash and a beard, like her. His eyes and his nose, and he's like holding his fist out in front of him. Look, he's like laid on his back, giving it the fight the power thing there. Wow, man, this is nuts. Them textures definitely weren't there, right? The thing is, these look good. Like I said, it was a crime to pull some of these out. It really was. Yeah, the internet's going shitty, so I'm going to have one more cigarette and I'm going to quit for the day, because I need to sleep. Alright, go to sleep and have dreams of... probably really mundane shit now in my look. Those are clearly from photos. Like, there's no way that's hand-drawn. If it is, props to the guy who drew it, but yeah, I'm pretty certain that's a photograph. Which is surprising, because a lot of the time when they did things like that, they didn't make it to the final, and I know that 1 or 2 of them did. It really looks kind of weird, actually. They're not. Didn't rate those textures. I like this tile texture. Black and white tiles always looks good. I always wanted to put black and white tiles in my kitchen. And when I got my old house, I actually did have a tiled floor, and I was like, well, leave it alone. And they came and tore it out and made so much of a mess of the concrete that there's no way we could put tiles down ever again. Oh, the carpet had edges. See, that carpet texture, another thing, you couldn't really use it many places. It tiles horribly, but yeah, it might not have been so bad at one time. I can see why. It's just a flip of itself if you had to get it to match those, because you'd have to flip that over at the edges on the opposite side, wouldn't you? It would even have like wear on it. Rugs. blue tiles. Yeah, those are key things. Yeah, okay. What is that? I thought it was a sickle and hammer, but it looks more like surgical tools or something. Or maybe it's a wheelchair with like skeleton in it. But yeah, if it had been a sickle and hammer, I would have had to start smashing things. Goddamn communists! Oh, that looks vicious. That had a shadow version. Okay. Strange, but... There's some quite old-fashioned techniques used, like from older games, that weren't really in use when Blood was built and don't seem to have lasted out. All these little takes on the banisters and stuff, man. Like, some of them I can see why you'd remove them, because you can do it with the other textures that are in. Those tiles. It's like roof tiles. I used to use them for when I built stuff, but I don't know if that was the intention. Horribly twisted statue, which is obviously what they were going for. Good to know. Oh, nice engine. Now you could tie that into some bricks with that. It does. Still not many variants on that. I always thought that was a shame. I always wanted more variations of those, because those look really good. It's Dark Forces-esque set. Blue isn't the palatable colour in this game, is it? I don't think. No, it's like it's still brown colour. Like, there's like practically no yellow in the palette. Like if you look down there, you can see it's right on the end of the red. On like the fourth row up from the right there. It's not really a thingy palette. The closest one you've got is kind of like the... that one there that I've got selected. And it's not really very yellow. Yellow is something you can't really do in Blood. At least it wasn't just brown like Quake and practically everything else at the time. Now, I always really liked that texture, but you can't really use it anywhere in the final game. It makes me wonder, could you use it here? Maybe. Yeah, that or I'm just dumb at texturing, which I'm not really that good at it. So, you know, maybe you can't. It's very strange. I never quite got what they were going for with this. Is it meant to be a pillar with like a drain pipe behind it? But the perspective wouldn't make sense, because then the drain pipe would be tilting backwards. And it doesn't look like that by the shadow. Who fucking knows? I guess it is meant to be perspective at the bottom. It just doesn't work for that one. It looks weird. Yeah, these tall textures here. Like, they use that for carpets, but it don't look like carpet to me. I always thought it was dead leaves. I don't remember the final using it for carpets. I swear there was an arch version of this. I think it would have been 2 of those flipped with the centre removed. And I think it used to live where this texture is. Or it was meant to and didn't exist yet. Perhaps they never actually made it. That version of that door. I actually quite like that, but I can see why they got rid of it by that top bit. That needs some work. Like that, I can see why you'd just keep that one and not that one, I guess. Like, it wouldn't really be that tangible of an effect. That's nice. I like that. Looks lovely and evil. That looks kind of bland. Yeah, those will be for your sprite bridges. Yeah, again, this is a texture set that needed more variation and didn't have it, yet it had it back then. That's a texture that you couldn't really make use of, but I know it's in use in some of the final levels. In episode 3 a few times, I think. Ugh, hiccup. I don't hiccup often. K-Pick Wood Jib. Ah, this is for destructible wood. Hold on. There's no animation. We could maybe set one up, but I don't think it's meant to. There's not really enough tiles. Some of these have weird offsets as well, which is like that one. Strange offsets. K-Pick Metal Grate. Broken metal grate. Centre of a metal grate. Okay. Single versions of those, which would make more sense if we were putting them on walls. As I imagine it would use less memory, but I mean if you use the full size one, you might as well just use that. I would imagine it'd pull it from the same place. It wouldn't load the same texture twice because one was a sprite, would it? I don't know much about the texture caching. Apparently they did serious work on that in this game, so you'd think maybe they've at least tried to implement such a thing. Maybe they didn't though, maybe that's why they had to get rid of it. I mean, how badly optimised the rest of the final game is, it wouldn't surprise me. It's different to the final mirror texture. The final mirror texture is like a smashed mirror with wood behind it. It's a lily pad. Torches. It took a while to load. Potion, term, dock bag, skull grill, goblet, black chest. You can still pick the chest up in the final game. For some reason. It does nothing still though. Voodoo doll, shadow gun, randomly. Yeah, some of them didn't have sprites yet. Pillars, variations of pillars. That's nice to see. A blue pillar. That blue set, I'm guessing, was a thing. That's weird. I don't know what that is, but I can think of some things to do with it. As in level design, but yeah, I guess I can think of something else to do with it. I always thought that was like a chess piece. Strange thing. Right, okay. Yeah, that became the Tesla cannon, that weapon. There's trees. I like tree sprites. Tree sprites are always nice to put in a level. They make it look good with minimal effort. Candelabra thing. Oh, the fire sprite must be separate on that. Or was intended to be, perhaps. I don't know. Did we see them working? Sconce. Yeah, it must have been on that as well. I don't think we ever did see them working. I guess they never implemented that. Those I'm sure I saw with fires in, though. So I guess they do spawn reliably. Are they still like that in the final? I don't remember. We'll go a little farther and then I will be getting out of here because I'm tired. What weird figures, man. Strange things. Anvil. Anvils. Oh, that line there. Look at that. I don't want to do that. I don't do that. Fuck off. I broke it. These always sort of look like they were made out of images of voxels, but I think it's just because the resolution's low and they're pixelated. Like that one definitely did in the final, but who knows? Who fucking knows, honestly. Burning logs. tree sprites. Okay. Explosion. Fire, I'm guessing. A dead sprite marked for deletion. He looks pretty mad. Wow. Yeah, he doesn't look happy at all, that geezer, does he? He's like, what am I doing in here? Get me home. A cloud, an evil glow, is a bad seed. He needs to be punished. Wow. Well, I think I'm about done here. We're going to end it on a good tile number. Ah, fuck it. We'll go a little bit past it. We'll go up to tile 720. Oh yeah, I forgot that was animated. The little black-haired Jesus man. Jesus is drawn has been white, but he was probably brown because of where he came from, you know. It's kind of odd thought, isn't it? I guess we'll never know. Oh, that's weird. I do remember that being a thing, though. And it sort of changes over time like that. What a nice painting. Well, that's a good place to end it, I think. Time is indeed ticking away, and I hate clocks. They remind me of my mortality, and I really need to sleep. And I actually feel kind of unwell. But that's just because I'm tired. I'll be okay once I lie down. So, my trees, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again at some point soon. I've streamed half an hour longer than I meant to, so, well, I guess we've done alright. We've finished the levels, so we'll maybe finish looking at the art and shit another time. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.